Welcome in, everybody, to the Triple Coverage Podcast live draft reaction here on the Built-in Buffalo Network. Thank you to Big Tree Inn, Awaken 180, Wingnuts, and all of our great sponsors here on draft night. Fellas, how do you think the board's fallen so far for the Bills?
It's been a interesting night for some teams. I mean, obviously the Rams kind of shook things up by taking Ty Simpson at 13, but I mean, there's still a lot of guys there available. I will say Ty Simpson going that early does kind of mess with the possibility to trade back. Less teams maybe wanting to trade up now. So yeah, it's kind of mixed feelings about how the board's fallen, but still I think a lot of good players out there that Bills probably have their eye on.
Yeah, who's your favorite player available so far, Scott, as you look at this board and how it's fallen for the Bills at 26?
Nobody really.
Still want to trade back.
Yeah, I want to trade back. It's a weak draft. We knew that. Like, there's not really
and there goes
𝐸'Mn being there is really enticing. The Browns pick is about to be in on ESPN. They took Concepcion, the Rochester native from Texas A&M, and before that, NC State. Yeah, but like, there's not really anybody really left that I want them to take. Like, I want them, like Caden McDonald is a guy we've mentioned a lot. They need a nose tackle. I think he would be great, but you can probably get him later. But on the other side, I don't know if anybody wants to trade back up to 26, because who else is going to have a guy they can't miss? You mentioned we thought maybe Simpson, like maybe the Cardinals would want to trade back up and get him. Nope, the Rams took him because I guess having one MVP quarterback wasn't enough for them. They had to take one in the first round. But yeah, it's a weak draft. We knew that. So Omar Cooper Jr., your guy Lance still there, but I don't know. There's no one here that I am like pounding the table they have to take. I would love a trade back, but I don't know if they're going to do it. Because I don't know if anybody wants.
Sleeping, so I can't pound the table too much, but I am pounding the table. You just saw me pound the table for Omar Cooper Jr.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the Caden McDonald train. I want to get that nose tackle. I know it might be a little bit early, but it's a draft where you don't know where guys are going to go. You don't know who's going to go up and down. I mean, you don't know every draft, but it feels like this draft more than others. You're really all over the place once you get past, I mean, even where you're at now. So,
didn't think Thieneman's, I don't know how you say his last name specifically, but didn't think he would really be there for us here at 26 either. So interesting. That was sort of an early on guy where we're like, man, this guy looks pretty good in shorts at least, and see what that brings. I don't know if maybe they could go safety here.
What do you think about? I know people would not like it, but I mean, Jermod McCoy is there, and that was just people threw it out there. I know I saw, you saw early on in mock drafts a lot. You did see corners thrown out there. What would you think of like a Jermod McCoy pickup at 26? I wouldn't necessarily love it because you're now going corner again, but what do you think?
He's the best player available. I mean, if that's how you're going to play it, then I would respect it.
He's the best player available according to ESPN, but
according to ESPN, excuse me. Yes, should clarify that.
It's also
who's the best player available according to Scott Casson?
No, not many. I mean, Peter Woods would be really interesting to me as well. He's a guy who a lot of mock drafters had him going in the top 10 before the season. He didn't have a great senior year, but no one on Clemson did. So maybe they try to gamble, roll the dice, think the guy that he was last year is who he is more than he was this past season. But I don't know. Like there's a steep cliff as far as talent goes, and a lot of these guys are probably second or third round grades in most drafts. But
what about what about a guy like Cassius Howell? He's another guy that was.
I like Howell.
He's fallen a little bit.
I like it, but again, like he's a second round guy.
To me, Howell is the one guy I kind of hope they stay away from, just because it's can he be more than just a pass rusher? And I don't say that in like a weird way, but like, can he be anything more than maybe even a third down only pass rusher? Where he's
the Bears right here. Sorry to cut you off. So there's a guy going.
Oh, the Bear. Oh, it still says pick is in for me on ESPN.
Well, it's a commercial on ESPN, but it's Thieneman.
Oh, okay. So he goes.
Oh wait, hold on.
Scott, are you spoiling, man? We have it right. We have it right here in the chat. Right here.
Hold on. I got a text. I don't know if it's true.
We might have gotten run down here. All right. Well,
yeah, it's true.
Buffalo, yeah, Bills trade to the Texans. Bills trade down.
So, are we out of the first round?
No, back to 28 now. 2 spots down.
I have to talk to you guys for 2 more picks.
That's right.
I need another beer.
Yeah, it's hard to follow. I mean, there's so much stuff going on, so much stuff out there. But
this name was a name
just following ESPN.
Denzel Boston
is so far behind.
Are we gonna have another 2024? Or we trade back later in the first and then trade back again?
Looks like 26 and 91 for 28, 69, and 167.
Say them again.
So you move
26 and 91, both first and third gone. You now have 28, 69, and 167.
I love that.
That's awesome.
So it's okay. You said 26 and 4. 20 was it 28 67? Oh, there it is in the comments. Roberto's got it. 20 for 28 69 and 1 67.
69's an early third. I'm bad at math.
69, baby. Could be on
you're moving up.
Watch at that point.
You're moving up 22 spots to move down 2 spots, and do you add is that a fifth of 167?
I got to go find that guy on Twitter who told me the Bills.
You're going down 2 spots in the first, but you're going up so many slots from 91 to 69. That's crazy.
I got to go find that guy, Lance, who told me they weren't trading down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Scott has to go troll on X. That's great.
I have to.
I love it. All right. So you have Texans at 26. You have the Niners who – according to my friend who's a Niners fan, we're potentially working on a move.
Does he live in San Francisco?
He doesn't. He lives in Central New York.
So we can't believe a word he says.
Yeah, I know. But my buddy John says the Niners and Jags potentially working on a deal. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But Bills move back from 26 to 28. Texans move up to 26. We'll see where they go. So yeah, two spots back is still obviously all the same guys, less the safety out of Oregon. So I guess do you think McCoy is somebody the Texans are targeting? So a couple of guys going to come off the board before the Bills pick again. Do you like Omar Cooper Jr. any better at 28 than you did at 26?
I mean, yeah, it's 2 more spots back, but at the same time, yeah, it's interesting because, so who's moving up here? Houston not taking receiver. Yeah. San Fran, I'd be shocked if they take receiver. So you'd expect Omar Cooper Jr. to be there.
I do.
So
I'm excited about it.
It's a possibility.
Pretty excited about it.
I mean, they did have a Zoom call with Emmanuel and McNeil-Warren as well if they were looking safety. I mean, Javon McCoy is still there. I'd imagine that maybe that's what Houston's coming up to get. Although, does Houston need a corner? Not necessarily, right? They don't really.
I mean,
because they
have.
Did they lose any corner this year? I don't think they.
They just paid the I'm blanking the kid from LSU.
It's Stingley. Yeah, they just paid Stingley.
Paid Stingley $1 billion. So maybe they want a affordable number 2 corner. But I don't know.
Looks like the
for anybody just tuning in
front of the Bills.
The Bills have traded back from 26 to 28. They give up 26 and 20 or 91. That's going to Houston, and the Bills are getting 28. Pick 61 and 169, 68, 67, whichever
167.
So moving back 2 spots
are not correct.
To move up 22 spots and add a 5th round pick as well. I mean, yeah, that's a I feel like that's kind of a lot to move up 2 spots this late in the first round.
I don't know.
Be interested to see what the
Falcons gave up or their first to move up into the late 20s last year with the Rams.
I mean, a lot of people automatically said it was an overpay, which
hey, that guy's not going to prison, so he'll still play.
Yeah, well, they could have had Ty Simpson.
I don't think they
could have. So the Bears decide to let all their safeties walk and go with Steinman here.
Hey, they have Cam Lewis.
Yeah, that's not a guy Braden brought back. Completely new revamped
safeties walk. They signed Cam Lewis. He's a stud.
Yeah. Well, there it is officially announced on ESPN.
Yep. And the Dolphins have moved in front of the Bills now with the Niners for the 27th pick.
I mean, they could go receiver. They could be looking to go receiver. Because who do they have behind Waddle? Or no, they didn't even have Waddle.
Receiver and corner and edge, so and another safety. I mean, maybe they could go corner, edge, safety, or receiver.
Yeah. Well,
all right. So you think that, I mean, Scott, for you talk about trade back. Is that far enough back, or you think all the way into the second round and not even pick them first?
It would not shock me if they trade back again, to be honest with you. But again, if that was the only offer they got, I don't know how many are going to be coming. And like looking at the board, who I just said this 10 minutes ago, but like who are you banging the table? Like who do you want at 28?
I already banged the table, bro.
Yeah, I know. Apparently the NFL GMs don't feel the same way about Omar Cooper as you do. But again, like there's
Cooper Jr. would have went first overall if it was Bryant.
Yeah.
What about a guy like Keldrick Falk? What do you
Sorry, Ben, go ahead.
What do you think about a guy like Keldrick Falk from Auburn? Another edge rusher, kind of, maybe fits what the Bills have had more than a guy like Cassius Howell. Cassius Howell's obviously.
Well, but we don't want what we've had. We got a new system now.
I'm also a little confused. What are we being outsmarted for? I'm seeing a lot of negativity about this trade back here from a lot of people.
Not. I don't know who. I don't have anybody on the board right now who I think is a first round caliber player. I was listening to Daniel Jeremiah and Todd McShay this week, and they were saying some teams had like 8 guys with first round grades on them in this draft. So I don't really know who you're gonna get. And like they moved up to take Rutledge, a guard from Georgia Tech. Hey, Georgia Jackets. But like I don't know who you're moving up to go get if you're the Bills, or who you really need. It's not that strong right now. So I would keep trading back if you can and get as many picks as possible.
Yeah, Cameron is agreeing here with you, being trading back. Yeah, I agree here with Justin as well. I think this is a no-brainer trade if you're the Bills to move back 2 spots. And yeah, Scott, do you even add more now? Like, do you go try to add more draft capital and move back even more?
Someone wants to, I would.
Yeah, I mean they like their guys later too. They like their later picks. That's where they hit the most. That's where they do better than most, if not all, pretty much teams around the league. They hit a lot on their late picks. But would this kind of fit the trend if they do pick a 28 of like first round picks not being? I mean, you're always picking late, but you're not going to get a guy that is a slam dunk home run at this pick. And I know some people think that there are players, whatever. There's favorites, but yeah, it's at this point there's a lot of different guys that really at this point sometimes even depends on where the guy goes and how their career is going to pan out.
Right.
So like a guy like 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭, if he was in Buffalo, I think a lot of people would be like, oh, he's going to Buffalo, his career is going to take off, he's going to be great, he's going to play with Josh Allen. Now he's going to Cleveland. I would think people are going to probably look at 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 a little bit differently now and how they think at least he's going to start his career, because who knows what Cleveland's going to do. So yeah, a lot of these guys end up depending.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, Ben, but the Dolphins did not take a wide receiver. I'll just tell you that.
Dave said, is this? I'm guessing it's Dave. Dave said that they'll trade again, retrade at 91. Yeah, but they traded 91, but they moved up though.
69.
Like they moved up substantially. Like they didn't
Bills
lose.
Are on the clock officially now.
Bills just picked 27. John, don't say it until it's announced. So.
What are your guys' predictions? If they pick, who are they taking?
I think it's I
gotta be Omar Cooper Jr. There's no other choice. Who else would you take here? There's nobody else that's even good.
There's a lot of guys that are, to me, on the same level. They're like, I wouldn't mind a guy like Fall.
Understand I'm being sarcastic here. I'm not an idiot.
I do think Caden McDonald is a guy that they could end up picking.
Two things can be true. Yeah, McDonald, not a bad option.
I'd be okay with McDonald
because they met with him a couple times, right?
Yep.
And how was it? Was Omar Cooper just over like Zoom or at the combine?
Combine stuff.
Combine.
Yeah.
So that's actually a question here. Bing brings up this. He says keep trading back, but then he says this draft is average. 2027 is filled with studs. If you trade back again, would you look for more picks this year or more picks next year?
I would have liked to get, if we could have gotten back farther from 26 and gotten 2027 capital, that'd have been awesome. But
yeah, but the Bills aren't in a spot to like. Obviously, next year's draft is stronger, but they're win now. They have a first-year coach who just replaced the Bills' most successful coach in decades. They're not in, let's get picks for next season. They're win a Super Bowl this year, guys who can help us this year. And there are picks in the second and third round that can do that. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think they're thinking about,
it's got to be Falk or Howell here. If you're going to go edge rusher, probably too early for maybe CJ Allen or Jacob Rodriguez, but maybe too early for my.
I really like Rodriguez.
Joseph, hold on.
They could trade into the 30s or 40s.
That's a great thing to say, Joseph. Either way, just remember, we're not going to know how this guy turns out on April 23rd. It's going to depend and a lot of different things. So, sorry, I just saw that Joseph comment because you know how some of the reactions are going to be. Jacob Rodriguez is another guy that was talked about.
We're going to announce the pick when it's announced too. So if you guys cannot put it in the chat until it's announced, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, well, actually, we should probably put this up just on the screen here. Is this a little too high? Is that too high?
Good.
But okay, so I'm seeing two comments right now playing. So Omar, yes, he played a lot of slot this past year, but before this year, he was not a heavy slot receiver, if I'm not mistaken. He's moved around throughout his college career. This past year, yes, he was mostly slot, if I'm not mistaken. Scott, are you looking that up right now?
A whole lot before this year either.
Yeah, Dolphins.
Well, that's also, but then again,
Indiana
didn't
San
really
Diego
do much
State
before 2 years ago. So
Indiana was in the playoff his sophomore year, and Omar Cooper Jr. did not produce like crazy.
Yeah, because he's
a yak guy that fits the system for me. That's really my infatuation there. And I just seen him play in the national championship game, made some really good plays. And so, dude, do you think the Texans and Dolphins are a little bit weird here with these trade ups? Because I just can't imagine that Chris Johnson wouldn't have been there for the Dolphins when they picked, and I couldn't imagine that the guard
Yeah, but if that's your guy, that's your guy.
Yeah. No,
no
doubt.
Chris Johnson wasn't even. A lot of people had Terrell over him, McCoy over him. You had guys that were graded over him by a lot.
They traded back again.
What?
To the Patriots.
Bill's pick is
Bills trade back to 31.
Oh.
Bills trade back to 31 for they got 31 and 125, and the Patriots got 28. Glad to see that.
I'm not mad.
Glad to see we're able to come up for air to help make this move.
If you can stay in the first round and add draft capital, though,
it's going to be 2024 again. We're going to stay up late and not watch the Nuggets game. Jalen Pickett's probably going off right now.
This is
I mean, I don't like the premise of they'll just make a deal just to make a deal. I hate making deals with.
But that's the thing, though.
Yeah, but again, you worry about your own team.
Like the first trade is almost like a no-brainer if you're the Bills, unless you have a guy on your board that you're like, I can't let fall past me. This one,
I don't think there's anybody on the board right now that the Bills are like, I can't live if we don't get this player. So you might as well get more assets.
Yeah, take more darts at the board, right? What is that? The Rams that always say that?
No, they say fuck them picks.
There's the Rams that get a lot of late picks, and that's their thing is they just throw darts at the board late because they've had a lot of late picks. They haven't had a lot of early picks.
Yeah, shout out to the Sabres though. Just real quick, big win in Boston tonight, 3-1. Got an empty netter there to give them the victory. So nice showing for the boys.
And the Patriots
in blue and gold.
Go tackle. They go tackle. So they move up to get a tackle. I'm guessing right tackle. I'm guessing over Will Campbell being left tackle.
There you go. Utah offensive tackle, Caleb Lomu.
That's a second Utah tackle to go in the first round.
There you go. All right, so 2 moves now. So we went from 26 basically, and we end up with 31, 69, 125, and 167. And we also gave up 91 in that. So we end up giving up 26 and 91 original picks, and we turn it into 31, 69, 125, and 167. So like 2 for 4. That's good. Yeah, it's exactly what you're talking about before, getting a few more picks for that 26, and they end up getting 4 picks for 2. And now the Chiefs will make their second pick in the first round here on the clock. And the Bills still 2 spots away. So who do we have in between? You have the Chiefs and now the Niners, right? Who traded back there? Yep. Chiefs and Niners to go with the Bills and then the Seahawks. So do you just forego the first round completely, Scott? I mean,
sure. You're going to get someone for cheaper. You're not going to get the 5th-year option, but much cheaper contract. And again, like, who's left that's a real first-round value? Nobody. And who are you?
Nobody, baby.
You wanted to trade up to 15 and get Omar Cooper Jr. We could get him at damn near 45 at this point. I don't get why people are.
I just said trade and get Omar Cooper. I didn't say trade up or down. You assumed trade up.
Oh, the
go look back at the text.
Twitter said trade up, and last time I checked, you created that account. But
let's go check the
people who are upset. I don't get, like, who are you going to take? That's a first round pick now. Nobody. It's not that, like, all these guys are second or third round values anyway. Why reach for them? Like, I understand you want to take a guy in the first round, but like, who are you going to take that's going to move the needle? That's not going to be there in 10 picks. Nobody.
Yeah, and then all of the guys that we've even been talking about that we really like here are still
there.
Like,
right.
I'm failing to understand how trading back correlates to not being able to then go to a Super Bowl. Like,
the only person to blame for this
teams trade back all the time. I mean, it just, this was known to be a class. The Seahawks GM just won the Super Bowl. You know, he literally just came out and said, I want to trade back. I don't want to pick at 32. And this was way before the draft started. So, like, you know, there's plenty of guys there that I think that are fine picks if you do stay even in the first round. Like, and you know, even just again, some of the guys that we're going to get mad over not taking, half of them, probably more of them, won't be as great as people think. So there's still a lot of guys there. Yeah, Cameron's bringing up C.J. Allen, Josiah Trotter, Caden McDonald, Dom Orange,
and second round salary.
Yep. Keep trading out. So yeah, there we go. It's a little bit back and forth. I mean, Denzel, Boston, Omar. There's some good ones there. There's like look at all these names: Falk, Rodriguez. Now if they do this and draft a cornerback or a guard, then that's a different question. Or that's a different reaction. But we don't know what they're gonna do yet. Well, KC's pick is in right now. We'll see what they end up doing. Already did move up to 6.
Looks like the Jets are going to come up in front of the Bills and trade with the Niners, and Niners are going to be out of the first round.
And is that the only time the Niners have moved back in this draft?
No, second time. Yeah, their second move as well.
How many trades have there been? There's been a decent amount so far, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot. There's
at least like 6 or 7.
In classic Bean fashion, he's going to use these picks to move up into the second and the third, so we're not going to use them anyway. But he has ammo to move up and get guys he wants.
Here's a question:
She had Trotter in that weird spot, and then
Dave brings this up: trade to the first or second pick in the second, and it costs less. But here's the thing: would you rather have it cost less, or would you rather have that 5th-year option?
Cost less, because if you can negotiate a contract, that'll be cheaper anyway.
But is it that much of a difference?
Yes. Big difference
from pick like 31.
Yeah, the guaranteed money drops huge. It's a huge difference.
I mean, if you're picking a guy though at 33 or 31,
it's like, would you rather have a lot of really bad pizza or a little of really good pizza?
Right? Now you're starting to see that trend though of second round picks getting a lot
of little of really good pizza.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's a big difference.
You got to have a partner though here, and who knows if they're going to have anyone else trying to come up.
I know it.
How many of the second round picks last year signed a fully guaranteed?
Chiefs take Peter Woods, who was on the
Clemson
board for the Bills at some, for some people there. So
I'm looking this up.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt the Bills should just take Omar Cooper Jr. here with their pick. I think it's pretty easy.
I don't think they're taking him, Lance. I hate to burst your bubble.
I know. Okay.
Lance's top player on the board, Jermon McCoy, still available.
Scott, do you think that the trend of second-round picks wanting more fully guaranteed money is going to continue this year?
No, they don't want more. So it's all slotted. Like you're picked, your contract is your contract. But what they just want is their whole contract guaranteed. And it's not that much money. So yeah, I'm sure that they will. But like it's really not that big of a difference.
William asks why they keep trading down. It's basically just stockpiling picks. The value at the position Bills need. The Bills need certain positions that are more heavily valued in the second and third rounds. So if you can get more picks around those areas where there's a lot of depth and a lot of, the player that you're going to get here at 31 isn't necessarily that much different from the guy you can get a little bit further back. So there's just not the difference in value between these guys. So that's why they're going to keep moving back and getting more. So.
Well, Jets are on the clock. We're seeing some comments saying that they could take Cooper. That might send Lance into some dark places if the Jets take Omar Cooper. But
yeah, not only did they not take him, but we got to face him twice a year. That'll be great.
Why can't I blame?
Oh no, we have
Who's the starting quarterback right now?
We have to face the guy who never had more than 1,000 yards in his career.
Who is the? Why can't I remember right now? Oh yeah, they got Geno Smith. Oh, I forgot that the Jets got Geno Smith back, man. Oh,
not if IK and Impala has anything to say about it.
You just know that's gonna happen.
All right, here we go. So let's see. Jets are on the clock. Pick is in, I believe.
Dave, you better not be spoiling anything right now, man. Because we did say if any spoilers, they're getting muted.
Yeah, I know. We'll wait for it to be official. It's a difficult thing to battle, having the technology versus waiting for this live stream that's like 40 minutes behind live action here. Doesn't make much sense to me to have it so far behind, but all good.
Ah, there he goes.
Dave did not hear me. Dave, I can literally click right now, put user in timeout. But there he goes. There's it official. You can't spoil anything else. Well, I guess you can.
Wow.
Lance is gonna throw a tantrum because Cooper just went. I'm gonna throw a tantrum because Dave is trolling me right now and doing the one thing that he knows is gonna bother me. All right, we're on the clock.
The Bills are on the clock.
We're on the clock, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, what would a live show be without a little ribbing from our guy at the top there? Appreciate all you joining again. Brought to you by Big Tree Inn, Awaken 180, 71 Slicks Barbershop, and just appreciate all the sponsors that rock with us. Appreciate Dave for giving us this platform here on the Triple Coverage Podcast. Dave, so Bills are on the clock here, and you got to go somebody here.
𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐬 McDonald.
Keep trading.
𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐬𝐬 McDonald. 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐬 McDonald. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's what I'm hoping. Does Denzel Boston's skill set, is it similar to Keon Coleman? Scott, what do you think about Denzel Boston?
They're both big. Denzel Boston, I don't know. Like, they're both contested catch guys. I think Denzel Boston is a little bit better, but I don't want him. I don't think they're going to pick him. It would very much surprise me if they picked him.
Yeah. Doesn't look like they're going to pick him because the Bills are trading out of the first round now with the Titans.
Let's go.
So,
they're moving out.
Moving on out. Yeah. Just like Scott wanted. Now let's see what they get here. 35, 66, and 101.
Oh my God.
For 31, 69, and 165. So you move up.
Yeah.
You move back 4 out of the first. You move up 3 in the third even though at 66. They still don't have a second round pick.
No,
you have 35 as a second round pick. Sorry.
So it's 35 for what?
They're getting 30. They're giving 31. They're giving 69, and they're giving 165. They're getting 35, 66, and 101.
35.
Big fan.
66 and 101.
Yep. So 3 trades for the Bills at 3 different picks. They traded with Houston, New England, and now the Titans.
I'm a big fan of what they did. There's no one on the board that I think they really, really couldn't live without, and 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐬 McDonald is still there.
Dave, now we don't have 1 pick today, but now you get a lot more picks to be excited about tomorrow.
Right. Like it's the first round, so people are, but like, if anybody can tell me somebody that the Bills missed out on besides Lance and Omar Cooper Jr., who like really would have made this team a ton better, like, let me know. It's just the draft isn't that strong. We knew that. So the fact they could trade back, stockpile a bunch of picks when the draft is a little bit better in the later rounds, like I'm all for it.
Because you don't know about Peter Woods, right?
Salary,
the other thing too.
Salary cap is a real thing, especially when you're paying Josh Allen as much as we are, everyone's favorite excuse. But we're gonna get guys 4 years of control for very inexpensive. So I'm a big fan of what they did, and there's still a lot of players on the board.
The other reason why I like it
taken at 26, now we're going to get them at 35.
The other reason I like it too is because it also allows them now, if they're at 66 and they like a guy at 58,
they can go get him, no problem.
You just added more picks now to be able to go get aggressive now on day 2. So I'm really failing to see what anybody's like super mad about. I know it might be annoying that we stayed up again late and don't pick. It's kind of annoying
anyway.
Like, But yeah,
although my wife did tell me I have to go to bed by 11:45.
There goes 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 to Tennessee. So he's off the board there. So I'm perfectly fine going to bed right now. And Sabres win. Don't let the Bills not making a pick upset you from the fact that the Sabres won. All right,
that's right.
And that the Yankees swept the Red Sox.
Ooh, that's a big one.
But hey, at least the Red Sox scored a run today.
That's true. Yeah, they stink.
Sure. All right, so there's the updated.
Are we staying live till the second round tomorrow?
All the way, baby. Just keep talking. 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 goes to Tennessee there, and Seahawks will have the final pick unless they trade it of the first round. But now the picks are, instead of having 26 and 91, and there's a few other picks they traded out in between there, but now they have 35, 66, 101, 125, 126, 167, 168, 182, and 220. So definitely got more valuable spots to pick the guys they want. And we'll be live tomorrow. Dave, myself, and Izzy, Anthony Romeo will join us a little bit as well. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. BIB will be live again for the second and third rounds. Not sure how.
One thing before
we're
done,
thing, but
I think this just shows the kind of talent that teams felt about 5 of the last 6 picks of the first round were traded. So there wasn't really anybody that teams are really crazy about unless you had somebody on your board that you didn't want to miss out on. So I love what the Bills did.
Yeah, the round 3 jump is huge. Going from 91 to 66. Even if you just did that, if you moved back from 26 to 35 and went from 91 to 66, I still would not I'd still be like, okay, that's good.
I believe it to be good. So 35 and then 66 is right at the beginning of the third round. And that's that. So they'll have 2 picks right in the one in the third pick of the second round and the second pick of the third round right there. So
3/4 now. So Ben said, if they want to move up and get somebody in the second or the third, they're going to be able to, no problem.
Yeah. I really like how that sets up. You have guys like, if Caden McDonald's your pick at 35, that'd be really good. Christian Miller is going to still be there at 35 potentially. You're going to have Jacob Rodriguez, potentially CJ Allen. See how much they like Josiah Trotter. I'd prefer Josiah Trotter over the rest of those, but that's just me. I like his bigger frame. It's not that much bigger, but you have, 6, 7, 8 more pounds on the guy already. It's just hopefully more durable for a season. Their linebackers get really beat up in this defense, or previous defense, but I think they'll still be pretty aggressive. Still have Cassius Howell on the board.
McDonald.
Yeah, McDonald's there.
I'm gonna just keep saying him.
Well, I already did say he's.
No, I know. I'm just gonna.
He's there. So, yeah, guys, I'm gonna be live for the show for the draft tomorrow with the folks I mentioned. So tell me real quick. Tell the folks here watching what you think the Bills will do at 35. Is it another move back or actually pick a guy? Ben, I know you already said McDonald, so we'll take that from you, but you can still say it again because you like saying it. But Scott, do you have a guy at 35 now you want them to stick and pick or keep going?
I'd be happy with McDonald. I also wouldn't be mad if they acquired some other picks, traded back around 40, and took Jake Rodriguez. That's probably about the range he'll be going off the board at. So, yeah, I would be fine with McDonald. And again, most of the guys that people thought the Bills would be taking are still on the board. And the fact they were able to get 3 extra picks that they didn't have, I think that's huge. So, yeah, McDonald would be great. Or if they trade back a little bit more, for a guy like Jacob Rodriguez, I'd be fine with that too.
Right. So again, the Bills gave up 28, 69, and 167. I'm sorry, they gave up 26 and 91. And then they gave up 28 and gained 125 there. And then they did give up 69 and 165 with the 31 to get 35, 66, 101. So a lot of good value for the Bills to, again, the positions of need where they need to be at. I think this draft, these draft picks are going to be much better value for those players than 26 and 91 would have been.
This honestly though, this gets me so much more excited for the rest of the draft as well. Like I didn't really love the spots that we were in before, today or before the draft started. So yeah, I mean, we already talked about the 91 to 60, 66, but even just then getting back up to 101, and you have 2 back-to-backs now, like just it opens up so many different things to be able to do.
I'd like to point out this one.
Yeah, I was just typing something to him. Like Miami was never gonna trade.
Miami was never trading us Waddle. So that one,
just false information, man. You can continue putting that out there if you want to believe it because you hate people and you just want to be negative, but it's just simply not true. It's been said over and over again by many sources that Miami was not trading for Buffalo. It wasn't as simple as including a pick or another pick. They just simply weren't going to trade Waddle to the Bills.
Again, we have to, when we're talking about stuff the Bills do or don't do, we have to remember there are 30
the other Notre Dame running back went at 32.
𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐸.
Close. No.
Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
Shaq.
Now
is he named Shaq? Is he
Jadarian Price? Jadarian Price.
That clicked at me and Lance at the same exact time. Oh, see, to me, Seattle probably couldn't find somebody to move back, right? And they said they wanted.
There might not be another running back taken.
Just so everybody knows, the Super Bowl winning team that just won the Super Bowl wanted to trade back. So good teams do want to trade back. They just couldn't, and they take a running back, which is interesting. It gives you that 5th-year option.
They need one now, but they could have gotten him later than 32nd.
Right.
Hey, they got.
There might not be another running back taken until Saturday now.
Yeah, good pairing with Zach Charbonnet, one of my favorite.
He's coming off an injury too.
Right.
Did they sign somebody else? Another running back?
No one signed somebody.
Not like anybody crazy, but just like a good compliment to him. Let me check this here.
We did get more than 1 second-round pick. We moved up about 25 spots in the 3rd.
Well,
technically
we didn't gain a second-round pick. Oh, we gained one, but we also lost.
Technically, we did. We came in with no second-round picks, and now we have one and DJ Moore. And we moved up about 20 spots in the 3rd.
From 91 all the way up to 66.
I don't have my Don Shula draft chart in front of me, but that sounds like a decent amount of points.
See?
Yeah. And you went from 91 to 66, but you still got 101. So you're still only 10 off of that 91 spot where you were.
It's a lot easier to trade up in the later rounds, too.
Yeah.
Seahawks signed Emmanuel Wilson. That was who I'm thinking of. Nobody great big, though. Is 101 a 3rd?
No. It's a 4th.
It's not a comp pick?
I didn't think we had any comp picks.
Well, we just traded for 101.
I think it's a 4th. I don't know. Math tells
it's either late 3rd or early 4th. So I mean,
104th pick.
Like you can count. That's the thing too. Like you can say, oh, we have to technically only 1 second and 1 third, but when that first third is the second pick and the 3rd, it's so close. Obviously, what's the difference really? And same with 101. If it's a 4th, it's off by 2 picks from being a 3rd. So, I know people don't want to wait, but think about now you get more things to be excited about in the future.
And whoever they would have taken at 26 is still going to be there at 35. If there was a player that the Bills could not live without having, they wouldn't have made any of these trades.
Yeah.
Right. And if there was a true difference maker available, which we'll see if any of them develop into difference makers, but like I think the point is from Scott is, you know, there wasn't a difference maker there to warrant making the selection versus acquiring more. So again, Bills taking 26, 91, and 165. Those are the 3 original picks that they no longer have. And they've got 35, 66, 101, 125, and 167 added to the previously owned picks as well. So really good draft, setup here. You're going to pick third in the second, second in the third, the first pick of the fourth round. Then you have the 25th, 26th pick in the fourth round, 2 fifths, first pick in the sixth, and the fourth pick in the seventh. So you're picking at the top of every other round now, as well as except for the fifth, where you're getting 2 back-to-back picks at the end of it. But you have 3 fourth-round picks. So, yeah, they're going to have to stockpile some guys, try to come in and compete for spots, both on the defense and maybe even an offensive lineman here at guard potentially. So don't love that they could have just picked Omar Cooper Jr. right there and they chose to move off it, but we'll see. We'll never know what that could have looked like in Joe Brady's offense. So I guess for me, so Scott, you're on Jacob Rodriguez as your main get here coming up in the second round.
Or Caden McDonald. If they take Caden McDonald, that would be just fine. But if they can move back a little bit more, take Jacob Rodriguez, yeah, I would like that a lot. But even better, Lance, we're going to know what Omar Cooper Jr. looks like in Frank Reich's offense. Feels great.
Much less, I bet. Prime position to probably try to get something like a Ted Hurst, Skylar Bell type receiver still in this draft, maybe Bryce Lance. And then, I really like Trotter if they can get him, but I think maybe the next pick could be going after that DT.
What about and this is a guy I like, not as much as I've liked other safeties in the past, and I know it's safety, but what about like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren? Toledo, smaller school, but they don't have a safety besides Cole Bishop on this roster after this year. Like, you're going to have to get somebody, and depending on how this defense is going to want to play, it could be a guy that would be used a lot. Scott and I obviously talked about Geno Stone not being exactly the greatest signing. So, that's a lot of confidence to put into C.J. Gardner-Johnson to be the guy next to Cole Bishop. But so I wouldn't be surprised about a guy like that either.
I have a question. Is Soulja Boy coming to the new stadium? Is that a thing I'm missing out on? I would love. Does he still perform? 7 8
Did the Bills announced that as part of one of the trades? They're getting a Soulja Boy.
I'd be there for Soulja Boy in a second. I can still do the dance. Brings me back to 7th grade.
I cannot do that dance.
It's not that hard.
That's pretty good. I'm going to teach Theo to do it before you can even do it. All right, fellas. Any last words before we get on out of here?
Just remember, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. There's plenty of things to be excited about tomorrow. And don't let staying up late and not seeing a pick ruin the fact that the Buffalo Sabres are up 2-1 on the Boston Bruins right now. So that's how I'll end it.
There's a good chance, just to answer this question before we do go, that he is available. There's only 2 picks in front of the Bills now. So you have the Niners and the Cardinals.
Cardinals took a DT last year.
In front of the Bills, the Niners are not – one of their needs is not DT, according to ESPN. And Cardinals are in need of a DT as their 5th most pressing need, according to ESPN, but probably not a priority for them right away. So pretty good chance that McDonald's available. Or Christian Miller, if McDonald's gone, Miller's there. Dominique Orange is going to be there if they want to go back a little bit for him, and not necessarily loving taking him at 35. I wouldn't say, but you know, there's plenty of depth here, and that's what Scott sort of was saying. I think too, is there a big difference between McDonald, Miller, or Orange, or Lee Hunter's there? You know, these guys are all going to be pretty good caliber NFL players potentially, and you could all use any of the four.
So. Yeah, either way, any of those guys will do what you want your nose tackle to do, and that is be the stuffer up front, eat blocks. You guys, as you know, with McDonald is a guy that I think has a higher pass rush upside in terms of a nose tackle compared to the others. But you guys also know that I'd be happy with a lot of these defensive tackles in this draft, a lot of these nose tackles. So even if McDonald is not the pick, Miller is another pick that they could go up and get. I mean, who knows? Maybe they even move back from 35. You know, that is a possibility as well. If it was Scott would continue to move back until he had like all 6th and 7th, like every 6th and 7th. So, you know.
Yeah, it's not a strong draft. Like, at this point. Like it's not. They're gonna get guys later who have the same, like, even if they would have drafted somebody at 26, he's a 2nd or 3rd round guy anyway. So yeah, I'm fine with moving back.
Trading with a certain team does not make a difference. The Cowboys traded with the Eagles tonight. The Bills traded with the Patriots. Who you trade to does not. Everybody was obsessed or pissed when Brandon Beane traded with Kansas City also a few years ago. Now look at it. End up not really meaning too much. Don't put too much into who they trade back with. Just look at the end of the day. At the end of day 3, that's all that matters is what your board looks like and who the players are. Doesn't matter what trades you made. Doesn't matter anything, but who you added to your team and how you got better. So the Bills right now have not gotten better or worse. That's the fact. Tomorrow, we'll see if they get better.
Hey, if you get 1% better every day, that's what I always say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's still a lot out there. That's all I got.
Anything from you, Scott, before we head out?
I'm pleased with what they did. I predicted trade back for a while. Yeah, hashtag blessed, hashtag pleased, as Sean Tucker would say. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. They accumulated more picks. It's not that strong of a draft around this part. So move back, get a guy that you could have gotten at 26, probably get the same guy at 35. So I like it.
Right on. I'll be here tomorrow with you guys. I'll be with Dave and Izzy for some 2nd and 3rd round coverage. Anthony Romeo joining us at some point as well. So looking forward to that. Thanks, fellas, for jumping on here. And go Sabres, go Buffalo. It's a one Buffalo town now for sure. I got to break out those hats. They all sold us like 3 or 4 years ago, or maybe it's 10 years ago now. And
it wasn't quite that long.
Now they're all relevant. So it's a nice thing to have. But
don't forget about the other major sports team, the Bandits.
That's right, the Bandits. Hey, didn't somebody call the Bisons major sports team too in that thread?
Yes.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Again, shout out to the Big Tree Inn, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, 716 Barbershop, and Wingnuts on Genesee Street in Buffalo. Check us out again tomorrow. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.